All right. Okay. We recording right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oddcast Podcast. I am your host, Gary Gnu. Shout out to all my YouTube and my IG subscribers and my followers. You know what I mean? We definitely going live tonight. Shout out to my man T Nitty and everybody out there in IG and YouTube land. Don't forget to smash that like button right now. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on IG at the Oddcast. Follow us on YouTube at New Tech Presents the Oddcast Podcast. Word. And as I said, man, we definitely got a special guest in the house with us tonight. You know what I mean? We got a Morgan State alumni in the building. You know what I mean? Shout out to my Morgan State fam. You know what I mean? This guy is I definitely known this guy long enough to call this cat family, you know what I mean? Word up. My man JuJu Jones, better known as Gene Rodriguez. You know what I mean? That's the government, but probably better known to everybody else as JuJu Jones. But yeah, for real. He's a filmmaker, screenwriter, also a director, and he has a short film that I want to show you guys tonight. It's called The Travels of a Gun, and we're going to get into it real quick. You know what I mean? He's on an anti-gun, anti-violence campaign. You know what I mean? We got to end this gun violence in the streets, y'all. Too many of our youth is dying behind them guns, man. We losing too many of our youth, man. Shout out to everybody that lost somebody, man, in gun violence, man. Gang violence, man. You know what I mean? We got to end this, man, because at the end of the day, it's affecting the kids. It's affecting the babies. Word up. So I think right about now, we're going to bring my man JuJu into the fold real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oddcast Podcast, my man, Gene Rodriguez, a.k.a. JuJu Jones.
Yo, what's going on, Gnu? Thank you for having me, my brother.
You there, my brother?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. I got you. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Definitely. I could definitely hear you now. What's good, my brother?
All
Can
right,
you hear me?
Yeah, I definitely hear you, man. My internet connection might get a little choppy down here, but
okay.
Everything seemed good so far.
All right. So what's good, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? Give me the opportunity to talk to the people, show the film, and kind of talk about the journey and everything that I'm doing right now. So, I definitely appreciate you, my brother.
Hey, man. My bad. Yeah, anytime, brother. Listen, man, you somebody I consider family. You somebody I consider my brother. I definitely want to use my platform to help my people out, man, especially if they got something positive going on that they want to share, man, and spread a message out and bring awareness to a subject that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, pretty much I do want to show the film, you know what I mean, tonight. The name of the film is Travels of a Gun, correct?
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a film that I guess was written and directed and shot and envisioned by you.
Yeah,
I know
no
you. I know
question,
you didn't
man.
do it by yourself, but you know what I mean. So shout out to your team and everybody that helped you out. But before we go into the film and all that, I definitely want to show the people what we are all here for, man. You know, kind of give them a show them the vision. But before we do that, talk about the film real quick and what the people are about to see.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me? Everything good on my end?
Yeah, I got you. We can hear you.
All right. So yeah, so this is just a short film. Basically, it's like there's a lot of gun violence that goes on in the community that I live in. I'm from East Harlem, and during the summer we had a lot of shooting, deaths, a lot of like just gun violence going on, and for about the last 20 some odd years, I've been working with the youth, doing career readiness. Like that's my 9 to 5 job, working with young people, helping them
Right.
get jobs, doing job readiness training and things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
So I know a lot of the young cats in the, in the community, and they have a real good bond with me. So they tend to talk to me about what's going on, keep it real with me about, what they go through.
Right.
And I've always felt like this. I need to do something to kind of get the message across to these young cats in a way that they can digest, what's going on and really, really like, take it in. So I was kicking the thought around in my head. I was thinking about doing a anti-violence program, you know, um, having talks with young people, having talks with people in the community, all this, and that.
Uh-huh.
And then during this summer, a friend of mine pretty much got killed. He was shot in the street, and
Mm.
it was crazy to me, not just because he got shot and died, but I kind of felt like it could have been me because pretty much happened like 2 blocks away from my house,
Mm-hmm.
and it was on a path and at a time that I travel very frequently. I'm usually around my neighborhood on my bike. I'm
Uh-huh.
riding around. I'm out kind of late, sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's like my path. I come down 120th Street, turn on Pleasant Avenue, and go over to my crib on 118th.
Right.
So dude got shot on 120th and Pleasant Avenue. It was like a drive-by situation, and he got caught in the crossfire. It wasn't even meant for him.
Mm.
So, the hood was hurt real bad because he was a good dude. You know what I mean? He was a younger cat, but he, everybody not that young, I'm talking about younger than me.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, he was real cool. Always say what's up, come talk to me about whatever. I know his mom, I know like his brothers. Like we were really close and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was hurting, and I'm like, yo, I gotta do something. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who he's involved with kind of anti-violence, gun violence and things like that. And
Uh-huh.
he was, trying to get me involved with his organization, and we were having a conversation about guns in the community, how guns move through the community and
Uh-huh.
why kids is using them. And while we were having the conversation, like I just had this vision playing in my head of like a gun traveling through the hood, and like one gun being the cause of multiple shootings. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Multiple deaths, multiple you know, families involved and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
after I had the conversation with my man, I went into my house, I pulled out my cell phone, and I started pretty much like jotting down like what my vision was.
Okay.
And pretty much what I jot down on my iPhone is what you see when you see the film. Like I pretty much shot it exactly the same way. Like I was thinking about it from a perspective of what do I have available to me? What can I use right now?
Uh-huh.
And how can I, tell this story of this gun traveling through the hood, you know what I'm saying, and doing all of this.
Right.
So I made a call to some of the young people that I work with, and I reached out to my god brother. He's a younger cat as well. Um, and they popped up for me. You know what I mean? Like I called one dude, he told his brother, he brought his brother. I called my god brother, he brought his man, and I had a role for another dude who was supposed to come through. And that dude actually didn't show up. He kind of flaked on me. You know what I'm saying? So um, while we were shooting a scene, I saw another one of my former students. He was just chilling out, hanging outside. So I went up to him, asked him if he wanted to have a role in the film. You know, he was like, yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? So he brought his man. So I was pretty much able to shoot the whole film, you know, with you know, little calls here. And then, like I said, picking up my man on the street. Shot everything in, I say, probably like an hour or 2 hours.
Oh, really? So you didn't have to go and get like permits or anything like that
Nah,
to film in certain spots or
nah. I mean, I did it in the hood, in the area where I live, so I kind of know, you know, and I also know the police in the area. So
okay.
I basically went over and spoke to the police, like, you know, because I also had to let the police know, because we had a gun. If you know that,
Exactly. So yeah, I'm like, you know, how are you? What did you have to do to let people know in that area that this ain't no real shit? You know what I mean? That's that's going on. You know what I mean?
Nah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, that's what I had to do basically. Like I went to the police, who are, you know, usually like stationed around where I was shooting. And you know, I have a relationship with them just based on what I do and, you know, who I am in the community. So
All
I just
right.
basically asked, I told them like, yo, you know, I'm gonna be shooting a film out here about gun violence. We have a, you know, a prop gun, and we're gonna be, you know, basically like filming. So, you know,
Okay.
I don't want y'all to get, you know, scared or call
Yeah.
anybody in. And, you know, they were like, oh nah, you know, as long as you let us know, everything's cool. And then pretty much every like block or scene, I just went in and, you know, told people I'm gonna be filming this, and that. This is what's gonna go on. You know, I
Okay.
broke down what the scene was so that nobody would feel like, you know, this was a real situation. You know, unfortunately, like this stuff happens so much in my community that a lot of people are kind of like numb to it anyway. So it wasn't too much of a big, you know, a heavy lift or anything like that for people to just be like, oh, all right, cool.
But the community was cool with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. But they were definitely very accepting of it. And even after, you know, when I put it out, I sent it out to a lot of the people that I know, you know, in the community board, people that I know from the mayor's office, people from
Okay.
district attorney's office, local churches, you know, different community centers, directors, and things like that, nonprofits.
So
And
what kind of traction has, you know, have you been gaining from, you know, from doing that?
I mean, a lot of people, you know, are accepting the message for what it is, you
Right.
know, and I'm looking at now, I'm speaking with people from the mayor's office and from district attorney's office about doing showings of the film to groups of young people, and then having open discussions with them about, you know, gun violence in their community, and, you know, what they see in the film, how they accept it, do you think it's real, you know, things of that nature. So, you know, it's definitely, the film is definitely turning into something that I didn't expect. You know, all I really wanted to do was basically just kind of show how I felt that guns were moving through the community with the help of some young people that I kind of knew. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just to kind of do it. I didn't really expect people to like it. I didn't expect, you know, the attention that I get from like the mayor's office or district attorney's office or anything like that. You know, it was just something, you know, I like making films. You know
No
what I mean?
doubt.
And I felt like, yo, this was something that I could do, you know, during the summer.
That's what's up, man. So listen, man, without further ado, I think we're gonna show the people the short film that you produced, man. So all right, man. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's called The Travels of a Gun. I'm sorry, The Travels of a Gun.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, here we go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there you had it. The short film, The Travels of a Gun. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. So yeah, man, that was dope, Ju.
Thanks,
That was real dope, man. I like that. I like that, man. So I've known you for a long time, man. So you know, I've always known you to do film and work with video cameras and all that kind of shit. You were a communications major at Morgan State, right?
Nah, actually,
Nah.
nah. Remember, I was doing graphic design and advertising at
Ah,
Morgan, because remember I
okay.
was drawing and doing all of the like layout stuff
That's
and all
right.
that.
That's
So
right.
I mean, it was still a creative like outlet, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But it wasn't necessarily like the video thing. I was more of a in my mind like a graphic artist, a graphic designer for
definitely,
a
man.
very
Because
long time.
I remember you used to do graffiti and you even did the COA logo for us on our t-shirt, man.
Yeah, yep. So I was doing that. I was doing the flyers for fam and all of that.
Right?
Yo, you might have to stop sharing your screen. I still see this big on my screen, so I don't know what the people see.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, I was doing all of that. I was doing the logos for DigiWax when we started up DigiWax and all of that.
That's right. That's
Um,
right, man. DigiWax, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but that was a platform that was started with Gasto and well who was all part of DigiWax?
yeah, it was me, Kashim, Gasto, and Ski Dad.
Right, right.
That was the original four who was doing the whole DigiWax type situation.
Right. And DigiWax was from what I remember, it was a kind of like what music platforms and everything that we deal with today. You know what I mean? Spotify, Apple Music, the list goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. We were very, very, very ahead of the curve.
Way ahead of the
Yeah.
curve, man, because you guys were doing that. What was that? 03?
Nah, that was like, I mean, we was up to like 03, but I think we started in like 99.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
So like
right.
when we got out of left Morgan pretty much, like I left Morgan in like 97. I
Okay.
think Gasto and all of them like maybe left at like 98 or 99 or something like that.
Yeah.
So when we came home, like that was the idea. You know what I mean? Like let's
Right.
get together and do this little business thing. Take advantage of the music and do all of that.
Right. So when did you start messing with the cameras and all that?
So what happened with that was there was a time when I was managing the Voice of Harlem with the whole no music thing and everything. So I had spoke to a friend of mine who had a
So wait, the Voice of Harlem. Tell people what tell people what that was, brother.
yeah, so the Voice of Harlem, he's a rapper or whatever. We had a run called, we did a song called Chicken Noodle Soup. So that whole Chicken Noodle Soup movement with Webstar.
Yeah, you try to graze over that real smooth, but like, nah, man, that was something big back in the day.
Nah,
Like, hey,
it
you know
was
what I
heavy.
mean?
It was heavy. It was heavy.
Everybody remember chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we were down with that. That actually took, the funny thing is that Webstar and Young B actually came to my house to talk to me and A about Chicken Noodle Soup.
Okay.
And me and A both looked at each other like, yo, this is some bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? But he definitely, had a vision. That nigga Webstar had a vision. He played that vision out. They got signed to Universal Records. And then we did the No Music song. We did the video with them, and then we did the No Music song with my man Ted Smooth. He's the the remix king right now. He does all the remixes and all of that are like current songs and joints go on the radio. So he produced No Music. We did that song, and that joint got heavy, like pub. We never got signed for for that record. You know, some stuff went down and everything,
Mm.
but you know, it's definitely a underground banger, like a street banger. That shit
Oh yeah.
plays at parties. It plays on the radio. You know, that song is a hit. So when we were
Definitely.
doing that song, I wanted to do a video for that song. So since I was, you know, Voice of Harlem's manager, I reached out to a friend of mine, like I was saying. He had a public access show. I can't remember the name of his show at that time, but he basically told me, he was like, yo, you know, I'll shoot the video for you for free. And he brought his cameras and shot the video. And the whole time he's shooting the video, he's, you know, looking at me because I was doing my graphic stuff, and he knew I did graphics and I worked with the computer stuff. And he was like, yo, this is some shit that you can do. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm like, look a little tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He's like, nah, like, trust me, this is some shit you could do. So like, he was like, you know, kind of introing me to the whole video shit.
Okay.
So we put that video out on, you know, and that came out like in 2005, 2006, I'll say.
Okay.
And we got like 150,000 views on YouTube. You know what I mean? Which at that time was crazy.
That time was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was like a million.
Yeah, that was like a million. You know what I mean? That was heavy. So everybody was like assuming that I did the video.
Okay.
So since I had put it out on my YouTube page and I did all of that type of shit, and my man didn't really put out his you know, his name or nothing on the video. He put it out on his YouTube page too. But mine was the one that got all the clicks. So everybody started coming to me like, yo, can you do this video? Can you do this video? And I was like, you know, I don't have a camera. I kept telling people I don't have a camera right now. I don't have a camera right now. So my man G-Bo actually.
Okay. Shout out to G-Bo.
Yeah, shout out to G-Bo the pro. You know, my man, my brother, you know, he's, you know, mixtape legend, you know what I'm saying, was killing the mixtape game. He's gotten like 2-3 people signed to labels. Agent 106 got signed through him, you know what I mean? So
shout out to 106.
Yeah, he got linked back up with Said the Don, who did Trinidadian Girl, right?
Okay.
Said was starting to rap again. G-Bo was producing for him. So G-Bo called me and he was like, yo, I want to do a video for Said. And he was like, if I get the camera, he's like, do you think you could shoot the video and edit it down and, you know, do it how you got it, you know, make it look like a real video?
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know nothing about how to edit videos, how to import I didn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have any equipment? I mean, did you have any have your Mac yet, or?
I had my Mac. Yeah, of course I had my Mac, but
because you was doing the graphic stuff.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was doing more Photoshop, Illustrator on my Mac, so I wasn't really playing with like Final Cut or iMovie or anything like that.
Okay.
So you know, G-Bo was like, yo, I'm gonna go rent a camera, and he's like, we got to get it to do this 24p. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 24 frames per second. And, you know, he's like, it's going to have to be, you know, this and that. This was before HD. So it was a whole lot of other, you know, like specs he was talking about. Okay. And I was just like writing these specs down, like, okay, boom, you know, yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're going to have to do. And he was like, yo, we going down to North Carolina. We're going to shoot this video. So he gave me the camera. And while we were going, you know, when we went to the place to rent the camera, the dude gave us like a little tutorial. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, you know, this is how you open it up. Boom, this is how you record. You know, the zoom in, zoom out. This is the aperture. This is, you know what I mean? Like he's running all the shit down to me. So I'm like, okay, cool. Locking it all in. And then we on the road. So we on the road and I'm, you know, playing with the camera. We get down to North Carolina and it's, yo, we start shooting. So we start shooting the camera, you know, using the camera, I'm shooting things. And I'm like, yo, maybe if I turn this way, get this angle going, you know, get that angle. Like I was playing around with the video because I knew I could play with the video. So we did that, got everything shot. Then I dumped everything into my computer. And because I didn't know, I overloaded my hard drive and killed my hard drive.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, shit, you know what I mean? So I told G-Bo, I'm like, yo, G, man, I killed my hard drive with this video shit. I was like, it was too heavy. So he was like, don't worry about it. I'll buy you a new hard drive.
Them
So
video
he buys
files
me
is
a hard
big,
drive.
man.
What happened?
I said them video files is big.
Yeah. And I
Pause.
didn't know how to upload them. That was
Yeah.
the other thing. I was putting them onto my internal drive instead of, linking it to an external.
Oh, okay. You blew your internal drive. Okay, yeah. You gotta. You ain't have the. I got you.
So boom, I spoke to him, and then I looked, shit up online, like, what's this? And it was saying to get a second hard drive and use that to, dump all your files down and save
Absolutely.
there. So that's how I learned how to do that, and then we edited the video and we put the video together, and like it looked okay to us, but it was like there's something wrong. There's something wrong here. So the cats down in North Carolina, and one of Ced's peoples had went to school for like videography and all of that type stuff.
Okay.
And she was like, yo, your clips are too long. And we were like, what do you mean? She's like, each one of your clips should be between 2 and 3 seconds long. If you go any longer than that, it's gonna make your video seem really, really slow, and you know what I mean, it's gonna drag and all of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So me and G had to then go back.
So that was a jewel.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's another jewel that we picked up. So we had to go shorten up the clips, boom, put it all together, find some ways to put some little, fancy effects onto the joint to make it look like, something. And that video came out pretty hot. You know what I'm saying? For like the first video that I did, we put it out. I don't know how many views it got or nothing like that, but I was very, like happy with the first video that I did, first music video that I did. So I started showing that to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And from there, what got me into the movies actually was my pops. Because my father, Eugene Rodriguez Sr., he's a playwright. And it came a point where he was like, he wanted to change some of his plays into movies.
Okay.
So, he was hyped that I was doing the whole music stuff, and I was, had the voice of Harlem, and like, so he was telling everybody, my son. And some people would like talk to me, and then I showed them the video. I'd be like, oh yeah, I just did this music video. So I showed them the music video, and I showed some of the people who pretty much were gonna film like the movie for my father.
Okay.
So these guys came in, they had their cameras, they gave me a chance to film a couple of scenes, and then they gave me the task of pretty much taking the tapes, dumping them in, and then doing the initial edit on the film.
Okay.
So, I learned a whole lot doing that. And I also found out, how much people charge people for like movies and all that. Like these cats, much, like, they killed my pops for a very, subpar outing, because at the end of the day, when we got the film, like I wasn't happy with it. My pops wasn't too happy with the film, but he had paid, a good amount of money for the joint. So he came to me and he was basically like, yo, listen, man, see what it would cost to buy a camera that we can shoot our own stuff on. He's like, I don't want to have to pay nobody to do the films for us no more.
Word.
So I looked up, at the time, this was like 12 years ago. I looked up, what a real good, like, semi-pro camera was. It was about $6,000-$7,000.
Oh yeah, they cost.
HD 1080i, had, all the bells and whistles, a good Sony camera. So we bought that camera. And then a friend of mine, Angelo Lozada, he's a comedian, famous comedian. He just, recently passed away, honestly. So, RIP to my man,
all right,
Angelo. But at that time, he was acting in my father's film.
Okay.
So when the people gave us the final product, he wasn't happy with the final product either, because he was like, yo, this is making me look trash. And you know what I mean? He was kind of like, he was kind of a big deal. I mean, that nigga did Bad Boys of Comedy. He, you know, traveled the circuit. He's been around. Like before he passed away, he was opening up for Noah. What's the Trevor Noah
Trevor
show?
Noah, okay.
Yeah, he was opening up. He was the opening comedian for Trevor Noah. So wherever Trevor went, he was going with him. Like he was.
I know the name. I can't think of the face right now though.
Yeah,
But I've
and I used
definitely.
to take y'all. Matter of fact, the comedy shows that I used to take all y'all to was Angelo's shows. Like we used to go to joints he had over at the Audubon Bar and Grill. Or yeah, me, Ja Born, and Big Mark. We used to go over there all the time, son. We used to be in that joint on a regular basis. But you know, so he wasn't happy with the film neither. You know what I'm saying? How it looked. And he had a couple of movies that he wanted to do. So when we bought the camera, he was kind of like made a deal with my father that he would act in some of my father's films as long as he would be able to use our camera. You know what I mean? So we shot another film, me and him, called Heroes, Punks, and Bad Dudes. And that's a pretty much like some old school Puerto Rican joint. These dudes sitting on the stoop talking shit about old school cats in the hood, you know, drinking beer, smoking weed. It was Angelo Lozada and Mark Vieira. And Mark Vieira is now a heavy comedian too. He's, you know, doing the whole HBO Latino. He just had a little half-hour special. So we had him in the film, you know, that we didn't have to pay for because we got this camera. And then after we shot that film, Angelo pretty much came to me and was like, yo, I got an idea. I want to shoot this film, and we could do it in your pops. We do it in the house, and we'll use your camera. You know, he's like, you can do everything. I want you to shoot it, you edit it, and do everything. So I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So that was like another test, like my third test of, you know, doing movies and all of that.
Okay.
And we did that film. That was Angelo Lozada, Mark Vieira again, and Mike Yard. And that film was called Accountable.
Okay.
And it was like 27 minutes, 20 something minutes. We submitted
I remember that. I remember everything you talking about. I remember you like, you know, talking about them with you or discussing them with you at some point.
Yeah, because you know, I was hype about, you know, this progression of, you know, opportunities that I was and the way I was learning.
Right.
So we submitted that film to the Latino Film Festival. And that joint got accepted. So it got played at the Latino Film Festival. I got to see my film on the big screen, you know what I mean? Have people watching it and all of that type shit.
How'd that feel?
That was dope, yo. Like I can't even lie about that. That was like a super dope feeling, man. To, you know, my moms went, my pops went, my lady, some of my friends was in the house, my cousins and all of that type shit. My son, when Julian was like, I think 1 year old. And I had him in the audience, you know what I'm saying? Like as a baby. So he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just a dope experience, man, to like, you know, kind of walk the red carpet. They give you carte blanche, you know what I'm saying? Like you in that joint, cats is coming up to you, interviewing you, like, you know what I'm saying? What was it like to film this, to film, do all of this? And, you know, I'm like, yo, to me, we was filming this joint in my crib with my camera, you know what I mean? Like, it was nice, but it seemed kind of regular, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really think about, you know, what it really was.
The impact it would make.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that film went off, and then from there, you know, I had my own camera, and I've shot a couple of, you know, short films. I've done a bunch of music videos. And I do like videos at my job of like promotional videos at my job with like the kids that I work with and things that they doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, the Travels of a Gun was kind of like me coming back to something that I wrote, that I, you know what I mean? Direct, envision, and do all of that type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I had did that for like the two films that I put out on YouTube, the True Harlem Stories, the 8 Ball Jacket, which is hilarious. I watch that joint to this day. I still love that, that short. The joint is hilarious. And then I did this joint called The Track with me and my man Jamal, talking about like he has a song that he put out. He wants me to hear it. And I'm kind of lying to him to his face, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, this song is trash. This shit's garbage.
I think I remember that video you did. I remember that.
That on, them joints got like 2,000 views on YouTube, so they did pretty well. But they was usually like funny. You know how it is with me. I usually like to be joking around and all of that.
Yeah.
So this Travels of a Gun is really like the first like serious.
Yeah, it's more serious work for you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, I get to kind of like, tackle some topics that I feel are kind of important. You know what I'm saying? In a medium that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But from a production standpoint, for all the filmmakers and beat makers and creators out there, how important is it to have your own shit? Like you were talking about having, going out and buying your own camera. How important is that, man?
I mean, I think honestly, like that's the most important thing. Like, because,
I would agree.
To me, that investment, number one, will save you money.
Right.
Because a lot of times, motherfucker, we always thinking about like the upfront cost. Like I said, the camera that I bought cost like $6,000-$7,000 at the time. That was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like prices now are very, very different, but at that time, that was what it was.
Right.
But I had remembered when we went and rented the camera that we spent like $1,400 to $1,700 to rent the camera.
To rent a camera.
3 days.
I mean, it was probably a $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 camera, but still.
Exactly. But you see what I'm saying? So my thing is, for 4 days, I was paying like $1,700.
And you could have damn near bought one.
Exactly. So, 7 is a lot of money, but I mean, we had it at the time, so it was worth spending, you know what I mean, on the camera.
Right.
So to me, the having your own shit is like paramount, son. If you don't have your own shit, you can't really call yourself a professional. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you on somebody else's dime and you on somebody else's time.
Right.
And that shit is too much. You know what I mean? Especially from a creative standpoint, which is my second point, why having your own shit is vital. Because from a creative standpoint, I don't want to have to wait. You know what I'm saying? To travel to the store, to rent the camera, to come back home and then get everything together when I could just go to the closet, pick up my camera, make sure that the battery is charged. That's probably the only thing that I got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure battery is right, boom. And then I can shoot at any time. You know what I'm saying? Pick up whatever I need, whatever, anytime that I want to, practice. I want to try to get these types of shots and play around with angles, play around with zooms. Right. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Without having to pay.
No doubt.
So yeah, have your own shit, man.
Right. How important is keeping up with the trends, man? Technology, man, shit changing every 6 months, man. How important is staying up on top of trends as far as software that you're using, you know what I mean? Shit like that.
I mean, I think that's important, but I don't think that is super vital. Depending on what type of equipment you buy, when you've bought that equipment, and how it maybe interacts with your software, that's something completely different. But if your shit works and you can work it, I mean, listen, man, I've done films on iMovie. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Just because, like, yo, my Premiere was acting up, or I didn't pay for it, whatever, like that. Because I used to have cracked software, so it came to a point where my cracked software wasn't working no more. But I still had projects I needed to get done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm gonna use iMovie, and that's the cheapest software you could get. But that shit is also dope if you know how to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So keeping up with keeping up with trends and keeping up with software, I think is kind of like two different questions. You know what I'm saying? Because to keep up with trends, you got to. You dig what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to, if there's a certain effect that's out there now, like that glitch effect that everybody does, or you know that page wipe and all of that type of stuff. If you can't do that, then yeah, you need to get you some new software and all of that type of stuff. And also your stuff is not gonna look like to what's going on. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
you got to keep up with the
Relevant.
trends in that regard. I'd say yes. But as far as like having the freshest software and all of that, I mean, of course, it's nice and good if you can get it. But you know, if you could work what you got, baby, work what you got.
I feel you. So you prefer Mac or PC, man?
Now, yeah, I'm a Mac man, dude. I've never used PC for nothing.
I know. We ain't hating on PCs, but yeah, I'm a Mac head too, man. I've been using Macs. I've been using Macs forever, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I had a PC, like, of course, when I first got a computer, I didn't know no better. You know what I mean? Someone had given me a computer from the center. So that was a PC. But my uncle was always a Mac head. And he was always at me like, yo, if you ain't got a Mac, you ain't really doing nothing. Graphics.
Oh, yeah, in the definitely in the graphics world.
Yeah, so as soon as I felt like I was, you know, trying to do the graphics thing, I was like around the old DigiWax time, I was like, yeah, I need to get that back.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So yeah, man, you know, the fact that you family and the fact that you fam, you know what I'm saying, you know, it makes it kind of easy for you know, for us to get on here and chop it up, man. But yeah, man, I see you put you had a little cameo in the film, man. Travels of a Gun, man.
Yeah, you know, like all my Spike Lee shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But realistically, honestly speaking, I had to do that because I didn't have that many actors. You know what I mean? So when we got down to the last interaction, like I said, there was another dude who was supposed to show up. He didn't show up. He was supposed to come with like one or two of his people.
Yeah.
So that was gonna be 3 more cats that I was gonna have access to, and then I didn't have them when it came time to shoot, and that was like the last scene. So I was just like, yo, you know, fuck it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when cats came, nobody wanted to get shot.
Nobody, I guess nobody wanted to put that vibe out there some, or was that it? Or
yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, that's you know, marking yourself in the hood and all of that, you know, that shit is kind of tough. You know what I'm saying? So I respected when cats was like, yeah, nah, I don't want to be the cat who gets shot. I'm like, I feel you. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, don't even worry about it. Like, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I feel that. So yeah, man, a lot of times when you have a vision and you're trying to bring something to fruition, man, you always gonna have people that support you, and then you're gonna have people that, you know, that's kind of flaky, and you know what I mean. So when you find people that are able to work with you and stick in there with you, you know what I'm saying, especially when it's not like a lot of bread involved. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because you know it wasn't no bread involved with my stuff. I am broke, B. So I mean, whatever I can get for free, you know what I mean?
I feel you. I mean, and I mean, I think starting off, man. I mean, I think a lot of times it has to be like that. You know what I mean? And you know, you do the production, and then once you put it out there, you see the kind of response that you get. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you know, now people is talking about bread, then anybody can sit down, man. But I think the important thing is just putting something out there. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I agree, man. Like, you know, and sometimes honestly, like I won't even lie, sometimes that's my problem. You know, I have like bunches of like shorts that I've written out, skits that I have written out and stuff like that, movie ideas. And it's just like, you know, anything that can stop me, I allow it to stop me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the I don't have access to bread. So sometimes I feel like, damn, I'm taking someone's time without being able to compensate them. And how is that going to be? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that sometimes is like, the stopping force for getting productions done. But
Right.
sometimes, like with this, the travels of a gun joint, I was just like, yo, I can't. I just got to do something. So it
Yeah.
was like, yo, make some calls. Can you show up? And even when cats wasn't showing up, that negative force was still on me. Like, yeah, just say fuck it. We don't got to do it today. We could do it tomorrow. And I was
Right.
like, nah, we just gonna get whatever we could get right now, and then I'll work. And like
Mhm.
walking through the hood filming, you get other people looking at you, and then I know a lot of people, so it's just like, yo, can you give me a little half hour, be in this scene? Oh yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it felt like once I got that negative monkey off the back and started moving, that everything started lining up the way that the way it's supposed to line up. So I say all that to say, wow, sometimes that negative persona pop up and tell you not to.
Hmm.
Um, if you disregard what that dude is saying and move forward, a lot of times the joint will start working itself out for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to your point initially, yeah, man, you gotta work, you gotta put stuff, you gotta push shit out, you know what I'm saying? And it don't have to be perfect. You dig what
Right.
I'm saying? Because I think that's the other end of it. It's like, oh, I want my joint to be perfect. If it don't
Yeah.
sound right, it don't look right. I don't want to put it out. Nah, man. Sometimes you just gotta do it just to do it, man. Sharpen your
Right.
sword every time you can.
Yeah. Especially creatives, man. I find that we're our own worst critic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that shit just be in our head. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hell yeah.
the other person, the people that are seeing it aren't seeing the little idiosyncrasies that you're seeing because they didn't make it. You know what I mean? They're just looking at it for what it is. But you're looking like, oh, wait a minute, that audio wasn't right. Or, oh man, that shot was off, or all the
Mm-hmm.
color was, or that edit, you know what I mean, could have been better, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
they didn't see it. They didn't see the movie in your head that you saw
right.
before you did it. You dig what I'm saying? So a
Yeah.
lot of times the movie in your head and what you come up with don't always line up. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
No doubt. No doubt. So back to the anti-gun violence and the street violence theme. Do you feel that the music that the kids listen to today has a plays a part in what's going on out there?
I don't know, man. We kids are hip hop. You dig what I'm saying? And I never
Right.
want to try to blame the art
Not
for.
not not to not
Yeah,
to
no,
push
no,
the
I dig what
blame.
I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel you, but like from my perspective, I always want to look at it like that. You dig what I'm saying? I want to,
Right.
but a lot of like my like brain is like, yeah, that music is a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It glorifies it a little bit too much, as
Right.
opposed to like when we was growing up, we had,
We had gangster rap. I mean, that's always been around.
yeah,
But
but
go
I
ahead.
feel like our gangster rap was more of a like a don't do this. You dig what I'm saying? Like don't do this. This is a tale of how I did this and everything fucked up at the end. As opposed to now where it's like I did this and now I'm the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that message I think is very different. And then I think if you also couple that with the educational system
Mm-hmm.
that we have available to these young kids now, that honestly speaking pales in comparison to the educational system that we were involved in when we were younger, and we didn't have access to the same materials and shit that these young kids have access to now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I ain't have a computer in my school till shit, I don't even think we had one at Morgan. Like, I think it might have been 2 computers in Morgan when we went.
Right. I remember looking up my shit on like microfiche in the library. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We had the old school shit. Nigga, we had, you know, you had to make copies of shit.
Word.
Take that shit home with you, read the books. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Had to do actual real research.
Typewriter, nigga, typing up word processors and all that. We have Word, Microsoft.
We have Google, son.
Nah, we have Google. We have none of that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like with all of this information that's available, all of these, you know, all of this technology that's at these kids' fingertips, they don't understand, or they're not taught how to think in the same way that we were taught how to think when we were younger. And because that piece is missing, when you get influenced by music and like regular stupidity, you begin to think that shit is norm. You know,
television, video games.
There you go. Like, this shit is inundated right now with mad negative gun related like shit. You know what I mean? Even like a game like Grand Theft Auto. Dog, you could run up on a nigga, pull out your gun, steal this nigga's car, and float off. You know what I'm saying? Kids
get chased by the police, helicopters, blow up, die, and come back.
And come right back. It ain't nothing. You ain't even see with us when we grew up. This is the difference, right? We played video games and we had the same shit. We could rob somebody, we could kill somebody, we could shoot. But my man, we had to pop another quarter into that shit. If you ain't got that bread, I can't keep playing this shit.
Your game is really over.
This shit is over. These little niggas now, they could keep going forever. There's no quarters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just
cheat codes and shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, they get it easy. You win, you kill a nigga, boom, you the man. And then when it happens in reality, see, this is why a lot of these young cats now be snitching. They go before the judge, they be crying, passing out when the nigga sentenced them to 25, 30 years in jail. Because this is, you didn't think about this as a real consequence.
Yeah, you ain't think about the consequence. See, in Grand Theft Auto, that you know, you ain't going to court and getting sentenced and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
And even if you do, you could just pause the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or if you in jail for 30 days, you ain't in jail for 30 years.
Right.
You might not play for 10 days, 30, whatever it is. It's not real. There's no consequences to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, these kids got a lot of like, it's a lot of X's that's floating around, that's kind of like pushing this type of, you know, this type of violent interactions between them. You know what I mean? And it's, like I said, education, like you popped out, you know, the music, video games, television, and then you got the hood, which is very different than when we grew up too.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something else that a lot of people don't really put out there, which, and it's also is like very confusing for me, because like it seems like it's really, really easy to get into the game right now, to like sell drugs, you know, say that you're a gangster, do all of this crazy shit. But
overnight.
Overnight you could just say that's who you are. You know what I mean? But to me, I don't see the amount of money on the street available as like when I was growing up.
Yeah, nah, ain't no money in that no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's why I don't understand why.
You there? You breaking up a little bit, but we still rolling, brother JuJu.
You hear me?
I hear you now. I can hear you. Okay, you back. Okay, now you frozen again, but we gonna keep it rolling. Shout out to all my YouTube subscribers and my IG subscribers that's watching right now. Word up. Oddcast Podcast. Gary Gnu in the building. What's good, brother JuJu?
You hear me again? I'm back or no?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Screen. All right. Like we back now. I'm sorry about that one, man.
That's sorry, man.
In my internet.
Yeah, man. You know, we, for those that don't know, we in the middle of a damn snowstorm in Jersey, and he in New York. So I know New York is about to get what we got. Word. So just be patient with us right now. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody that's been hanging in there with us, man, and watching tonight, man. Word up. What up? What's good? What's good? Word up. How's everybody, man? I hope y'all nice and cozy in the crib, everybody that's in the Northeast region. You know what I mean? Word. Shout out to the UK. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody in the Midwest, in the Bay Area, watching the Oddcast Podcast. Okay, I think we lost brother JuJu, but I'm gonna have to readmit him into the session. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, we had my brother Gene Rodriguez on here talking about his film, The Travels of a Gun. You know what I mean? So just bear with us, man. We lost communication with him, man. We're gonna see if we can get him back. You know? Word. In the meantime, I'll just play it. Oh, I think he's coming back. He's coming back. All right. Hold on. I think he's coming back, guys. Yeah. How y'all feeling out there? How y'all feeling out there? Okay, let me admit the brother.
Hold on. Can you see me on here?
Definitely, I can see you.
All right, yeah, I just switched to my phone.
Okay. Hey, man, you got the technology.
All right, let me just close this so we don't get the echo going on if I ever do get back in there.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be a little more stable. I can't have my glasses on the phone. The screen is too small.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, I know what it's like to wear them glasses, man, and be trying to look at screens. You know, I'm wearing my contacts right now, but for those that don't know, I'm blind as a bat.
I can't do the contacts here. I can't. That's one thing I cannot do.
Yeah, I've been wearing them, man, for years, 25 years. I switch up, man. Sometimes I switch up between glasses and contacts. I think I'm about to go back to my glasses for a minute. You know what I mean?
I wish I could do the contacts thing. It seemed like, you know what I mean, real convenient.
Yeah.
But I can't touch my eyes, son. Like that joint just creeps me out.
it took a minute to get used to, but I've been doing it for so long. It's like nothing now, man. To pop them out, pop them back in. It's nothing now, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So where were we, man? Talking about the effects of
all of this the media on these kids and you know how they look at things. But like I was also saying, I don't know if you got that or not, but you know, like we were starting to say, the hood is mad different, you know what I'm saying, now than back in the days, you know. And the one thing that's really weird to me, on top of the fact that ain't no bread and all that involved, is like the gang affiliations and you know what I'm saying, all of that type shit. It's crazy, man. Like it's really, really crazy. In my area, they on that shit heavy. They be on the gang shit heavy, man.
Mine too. My area too, B.
Cats be in that shit shooting up the spot, you know, over some gang shit.
Yeah, man. And most of the time, the little kids get hit or the wrong person get hit, man. It's always the, you know what I mean? Never the target intended.
Yeah, always the wrong person, son. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I kind of was showing in the film too.
Yeah.
is, you know, most of the time when the cat was letting the gun off, nobody was getting hit. But that was just nobody that we could see on screen. You know what I'm saying? Because the interaction is between whoever the 3 people are, the 2 people or whatever. But there's people in the background, we don't even know who maybe got hit.
Right.
You know? And you know, that's the worst part about all of this gun shit now, is just how many like innocent victims they tend to be. You know what I mean? Little kids, babies, women, you know what I mean? Like people getting shot that you ain't got no business being shot. You was a good kid, yo.
Right. No doubt.
But that
man.
law of the streets, man, that joint crazy right now.
Yeah. Definitely, man. You know what I mean? So what do you think the community has to do, man, in order to put a stop to this? Or do you think do you think they could put a stop to it?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the biggest thing that's missing is the community. You dig what I'm saying? Like, these kids now don't come from an environment that was that's together. You dig what I'm saying? Like, when we grew up, you know, you had that old lady on the block who, if you did something wrong, she was gonna tell your moms. You knew that.
Right.
And every block had that lady.
Yeah.
And that lady wasn't scared to tell your mother what you did, what she saw you doing. You know what I'm saying? And it was never the response from your moms or your dad or your older brother, your uncle, whoever, was never, don't talk to my kid like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Never disparaging to the adult. It was always accepting of what that message was. And then you doled out punishment based on that. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
But now people, it seems like people are so caught up with wanting to be the perfect parent that when someone points out the wrongs that your child is doing, the first thing you want to do is defend that child, which, you know, on one end isn't wrong, but the message that you send into your child says there's no consequence to my action. And as the child gets older, that no consequence to action turns into disrespect towards the parent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And disrespect towards adults in general.
Your elders, people in authority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody could say nothing to you.
Right.
Because you think you're a badass. You know what I'm saying? And
it started at home. It starts in the home, man.
Exactly. It starts in the home, but it also starts in the community, in the surrounding community. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have that strong bond in the community, then this is what we get. You dig what I'm saying? And if you think about it, that's the main thing that we don't have right now. Like, you don't have so many block parties going on. You don't have so many, like, you know, block mayors or you know, the old lady in the window, you know what I'm saying? We don't have the big brother on the block. You know what I'm saying? Even the hustlers on the block back in the days would tell kids, yo, don't be like me.
Right. Some of them. You had ones
yeah, a lot of them, though, honestly speaking. I mean, you always had the grimy cats who was gonna put you on, you know what I'm saying, if you was a certain type of dude. But at that point, you know, they was putting you on because you were supposed to be on, because that was who you was gonna be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if like the street cats saw that you had a little bit of potential, they wasn't gonna suck you down into that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if you was a kid that's nice at ball, or you was a kid that was smart, they be like, yo, this ain't for you, man. Like, you know what I mean? Go to school, or nah, man, keep playing ball, and this ain't for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have that either no more.
Right.
You know, so when you get all of that, you know, and then you have, like, you know, we have this gun culture, you know, with the video games and the music and all of that, and then you have easy access to guns.
That too.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, you showed in the movie how they first they bought the gun for $600, and then I mean the price went down after they blasted off, and then the price went down again, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah, so the kids, it's like you getting a deal on the gun because the gun is dirty.
Right, and it's just getting devalued,
and because you pay so little for it, it's easier for you to use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because shit, I ain't pay nothing for this shit. Let me pop that off. You know what I'm saying? Right. As opposed to, I just pay $800 for this. I ain't about to waste these bullets on a nigga.
I just had to get my license and my, you know what I mean, my this and that and all this for it. So you're gonna be a little bit more responsible.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that now, and then you don't have a community that's like, yo, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the community turning their eye like, oh, I ain't see nothing.
That too.
So all of this is a recipe for disaster. You dig what I'm saying? And that's why, like, in the city, in the real hoods, that's why this is such a problem. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, don't really want to look at it like that because it's not happening everywhere, even though it's happening everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, man, it's sad. Like I said, I know where I'm at, man. Our youth is gun violence, man. Somebody getting shot like every day on damn near out here where I'm at, man. It's kind of crazy out here, man.
Yeah, like for me, like I live in East Harlem, right? East Harlem go from 99th Street to 135th Street, 137th Street, maybe at the most. You know what I'm saying? Madison Avenue or Fifth Avenue down to, Pleasant Avenue or the Drive. So you really talking about like maybe a 45 block type area. Though we be having like 10, 15, 20 shootings every summer. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the crazy shit to me is we got all of these nonprofits that are in my community who are supposed to be against gun violence, who are supposed to be educating the community, doing this, doing that. And these things happen every year, son. There's no, we need to change up our tactics. Let's see what new can we bring in? What can we change? Everything stays the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what the outcome is. So, people get like, sad about all of that shit. They don't really want to do nothing because you feel like you powerless. I can't, no matter what we tried or what somebody tried, the shit still goes on. Right. So they be like, oh, well, it don't even make sense to try to do nothing now. Like right now, you got older people who are scared of these young kids, who won't even talk to them, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why these young kids are so quick to shoot. They disrespectful. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
Because nobody talking to them. Nobody schooling them about, what the real deal is. You know what I'm saying? And what real consequences to actions are.
Right. Yeah, no more we don't really have a lot of black leaders in community, people like you were saying, man, to take charge and try to direct the youth, man. What role do you think politicians and local government do you think should they be playing in this, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think they need to play a bigger role than what they play. You know what I mean? But on the other end, I also understand why they don't. And like I've been looking into politics a lot lately. You know what I mean? It's something that I'm thinking about like jumping into just because like locally and all of that. But what I've noticed is we as a people don't really understand elections or the election process at all. So this last election that just went down, Trump versus Biden. is a perfect example of like how much we don't really understand politics, right? So we have mad people, hyped up. Oh my God, I'm gonna vote for Biden. Get Trump out. Let's get Trump out. Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that, right? And you get a bunch of people coming out to vote for the presidency when your vote don't really count in the presidency. The Electoral College picks the president. Now, the Electoral College picks the president based on, the popular vote in that state. I'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? So your vote counts to a certain extent to that in that regard. But on the real side of things, there are Democratic states and there are Republican states. And who's going to win those states no matter what. Sometimes you got some swing states that'll flip-flop every now and again, which is what we just saw. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how Biden was able to win the way that he won, which I'm fine. I'm happy with the way he, that he won and all of that type shit. But my point to this is people then want to complain that a president hasn't done enough for them individually or enough that they can see on an individual basis, right?
Right.
That's not the president's job. That's more local politicians' job. So the education system in your community, that's your local politicians. That also has to do with the census, which is something else that we also don't understand as a people because we kind of live a little bit illegally. You know what I'm saying? So we always scared of, the government popping up, knowing how many niggas you got living in your motherfucking crib and how much money you make and all of this type shit. So you think you're going to lose everything. So you don't want to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
But when you don't tell them the truth, they look at your area and they say, oh, it's only 60,000 motherfuckers who live in this area.
So that determines how much funding that certain area get, right?
There you go. And to me, the politicians should then be able to step up and say, nah, that's not true, because based on my election results, there should be at least this many people in the community. But they can't do that because not enough of us vote in the local elections. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you ask the average Joe, who's your local councilman or councilwoman, councilperson, whatever, they don't know. Who's your senator? Right. They don't really know. You know what I'm saying? They may know the big name. De Blasio is the mayor. Cuomo is the governor. Right. You dig what I'm saying? But when you get down to those smaller elections, you don't know who these people are. Right. And so there's two things going on with local elections when it comes to, like, violence and all of that type shit in a certain community. So on one end, the way that I think about it, on one end, I think local elected officials don't really have a problem with the amount of violence that goes on in their communities. And the reason why I say that is because that shit is like a badge of honor on their resume for them to say they were the city council person of the most violent district in Harlem or the most violent community in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Because they always have things that they put in place to try to lower the crime rate or lower the violence rate or do all of this type shit, right? And it may not work, but it may be, on paper, a really good idea. Right. And because of that, I test ran that shit in the worst community, and it only worked a little bit. If I do it in your good community, it's gonna work 85%. And now they can get higher, they get elected to higher offices. You dig what I'm saying? And shit like that. And they start moving up the ladder and getting into offices where you could be, a congressman for like 50 years.
Yeah.
You got old white niggas in the Senate, in the Congress right now who, real talk, and I had to tell people this shit, right? I'm like, yo, if you a white nigga and you 75 and older, and you in Congress, Supreme Court, or one of those for life type positions, my man, you racist. Because you grew up before the Civil Rights Act. You was an adult before the Civil Rights Act passed, which means you grew up when it was cool to call a nigga to his face. You dig what I'm saying? And if you an adult, if you 19, 20 years old in 1965, 66, whenever the Civil Rights Act passed, you're not really changing but so much. Especially if you're an elected official. If you got elected shit in the 60s, some of these niggas been on for like 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the 60s, but their age-wise, their thought patterns are very much racist, which is why a lot of what goes on. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't get involved with your local elections, these type of niggas is able to be in office forever. And see, when you're in office forever and only a couple of people vote for you, all you got to do shit for is that couple of people who voted for you. So like in my area, for example, East Harlem, a lot of young people don't vote. They don't even know who the local officials are and shit like that. They're not voting for youth, in any of these elections. So when it comes time to get something done for young people, these people who get elected, they don't really give a fuck, because the people who voted me in are seniors, are older people. So I care about what they want. Yo, you want a garden? Let's bring a garden over here. Let's make this area, we'll put more lights in this area. You know what I mean? We'll make a doggy park. We'll do this, we'll do that. But when it comes to addressing violence, we really don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Because, in my area, at least, we starting to get gentrified now. And the fucking, the landlords or whatever, they really don't give a fuck, because the more violent the area is, the cheaper them fucking buildings are for them to buy. And they know them whitey's gonna come in and live there, because whitey only living in our area on a temporary basis. They ain't trying to stay there for no 25 years. They come in, go to their crib, go to sleep, go back downtown to go chill, go work, do whatever they got to do. They not chilling in the hood. So they not really witnessing the violence and, involved with the shootings. I mean, they see it in the newspaper. They see it on their Citizens app. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. But outside of that, they don't really know. They don't really give a fuck.
No doubt, man. So yeah, Ju, man, tell the people where they can reach you on and how they can find you, man. And if they want to find out more about this project and what you got going on with this anti gun violence movement that you got going on, man.
Yeah, I mean, most of my contact will go through my the YouTube page. It's Urban Reality Films. Urban is erbn. And then Reality, Reality. Urban Reality Films. You can get to Travels of a Gun through that. I can also, be reached on my Facebook page. That's JuJu Jones. I have a Instagram page as well, Urban Reality. I think it's films as well. I'm not really on Instagram heavy, but I got a page.
All right, we gotta get you on IG, man.
Yeah, I need to be on there a lot more than I am, but I'm still an old dude. I like to read, and it just be pictures on Instagram, and it be messing me up, man. I like to be able to talk some shit every now and again.
I feel you. Yeah, man. But listen, I want to thank you, brother, man, for coming on the show, man. And I want to thank all my subscribers and all my followers, man, for watching tonight, man. As I said, I want to use my platform, man, to bring positive people, man, that I know that are doing positive things. Give them a chance to talk about whatever they want to talk about, man. So like I said, I want to thank you for taking the time out, spending your time out, man, to share your film with us, man. And yeah, man, appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man. Thank you too. You know, I appreciated it. You know, great show. Like I said, I've been peeping, you know, what's going on. So, you know, definitely an honor for me to be on. You know how it go, me and you go back to, you know, the early 90s and all of that. So,
way back.
you know,
Yeah, man.
you know, it's really nothing, but I appreciate the fact that, you know, you have an outlet and you see what I'm doing as something that could be on your show and promoted. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate that nod and everything. And yo, I wish you all the luck with your joint. You know, everybody out there, continue listening to Oddcast Podcast. Sign on. Tell your peoples to sign on. You know what I'm saying? Boost my man joint like crazy, man.
Word, word. I was gonna ask you to do a drop, man, but I ain't have to. You see, you fans, so you already know. You know what I'm saying?
No question, man. You know how it is.
Word, word. So yeah, man. Peace and blessings to you, man. Much love to you, man. And man, and I wish you and your family, man, a prosperous new year, man. 2021 is gonna be something special, man. So yeah, man. That's pretty much it, man. Gary Gnu, man. Oddcast Podcast, man. We signing off, y'all. Peace.
Peace, everybody.
All right, brother Jew.
All right, man. Thank you again, my brother. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
No doubt, brother.
All right.
Peace.